This is your WCIA 3 forecast first.
Hey, thanks for joining us here tonight. It's a nice calm evening here in Champaign. That's Reflecting America Woods Basement Systems camera as we kind of overlook campus on this July summer night where storms have formed well to our north up into Wisconsin, right there on the Illinois, Iowa, and Wisconsin state line. Those are going to stay just to our north tonight, but they will get in here by the time we head into tomorrow. But let's talk about the muggy conditions that are out there. Still 79 in Springfield. Out the door in the morning, temperatures will be into the low 70s. Quickly on the way to those mid-80s for highs. We'll talk about the thunderstorms and the severe weather threats with those storms when we come back. WCIA 3 News starts right now.
Now from WCIA 3 News.
Police say a man tried to ram down the doors to the Champaign County Jail, but they say that wasn't the first or last crime he committed. Plus, the ACT and SAT are familiar tests for high school juniors, why some might not have to take them anymore. And it was a college commitment on live TV, what helped this player decide.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 10.
It's been a very strange day, and then to come to find out that it's my personal truck.
He says his pickup truck was stolen by a man early this morning, but police say that man's crimes did not end there. Good evening, I'm Jessica Coons. That truck was first stolen from a tow truck company. Police say the man then drove into a fence and parts of the Champaign County Jail and then at corrections officers. WCIA 3's Bryce Beeman joins us. And Bryce, the officers and the suspect were not hurt, but this story is pretty wild.
The more people I spoke with, the crazier the story got, but thankfully, no one was hurt. A lengthy release from the Champaign County State's Attorney says Yevgeny Nikolaev stole a pickup truck from Feldkamp's Towing in Urbana.
Come over here and car doors were open and the trunk lids were open on cars, so I come inside and then we found out later on that the pickup truck was gone.
The release says Nikolaev drove to the highway department and unsuccessfully tried to steal a vehicle there. He then headed to the Champaign County Jail where he tried to walk into the secured entrance called a Sallyport. He was denied, but then slammed the truck through the security gate. Then he repeatedly rammed the Sallyport door. He broke through and hit a van inside, then drove through the other door. Then up the sidewalk to the main entrance towards the glass doors. The state's attorney says when corrections officers confronted him, he drove at them. One officer fired at the truck and had to dive out of the way to avoid being hit.
And then to come to find out that it's my personal truck and he's at the county jail out of all places where most people don't want to go there, but he's there running the building down and the fence down, so the whole thing's been kind of crazy.
The state's attorney says after all of that, Nikolaev drove away from the jail. Nikolaev then crashed into a ditch at the intersection of Main and Learman. He ran away to a parking lot of Illini FS. He tried to break into an Illini FS vehicle, but it didn't work. He then tried to pull a woman out of her truck. She was able to fight him off as police arrived. Officers chased him to the Illini FS building, where he was finally taken into custody. His bond is set at $2 million. The Champaign County State's Attorney says Nikolaev was arrested on preliminary charges of possession of stolen motor vehicle, criminal damage to government-supported property, attempted first-degree murder, and vehicular invasion. This is still an ongoing investigation by Illinois State Police. Jessica?
So much to unpack with that story. Bryce, thank you. This is an update from Danville. A bicyclist who was hit by a car has died. This happened Monday night near Williams and Fairweight. Police found 28-year-old Totten Jackson in the street. Witnesses told police he was riding a motorized bicycle when a dark-colored Hyundai hit him and left the scene. Police found that car in a garage in the area, but they're still trying to find the driver. New at 10, the FBI office in Springfield says they need help with a nationwide search for this person of interest. They say this man may have critical information on the identity of a child victim in a sexual exploitation case. They don't know this man's name, only that he's between 30 and 40 years old, and this picture may have been taken before November 2018. If you have any information, contact the FBI. Here's another update. Decatur has named an interim police chief. Chief Jim Getz announced his retirement, so Deputy Police Chief Shane Brandell will take over. Brandell has been with the department for almost 25 years. He starts July 30th and will be a candidate for the permanent position. A weekend event to help combat gun violence was rained out, but organizers made it happen today. HV Neighborhood Transformation hosted a community gathering at Beardsley Park in Champaign. There was a barbecue and people played basketball. Vendors were also invited to sell goods. The organizer says this is all about getting the word out.
We look forward to getting the message about put the guns down and stop the killing a little bit more. And it's great that we have the youth with us right now, because these are the young people that's being affected by a lot of the deaths.
The group is hosting another event on Saturday at Salt and Light in Urbana. And an apartment complex that was the scene of a police standoff last month hosted a block party today. Both the city and the Country Brook Cares Neighborhood Association held the Country Brook Cookout. It was a chance for neighbors to build community ties with not just each other, but also the mayor, city council members, and police.
An opportunity for people to get to know their neighbors and get to know the community and to really engage, and that's the most important thing. You know, healthy neighborhoods come from making friends and really being invested in your community.
Will be happening across the city. Governor Pritzker was one of several state and city leaders invited to the White House today. They spoke with the president about infrastructure. The president emphasized the issue has long been bipartisan and wanted to get the leaders' ideas on what will work best. Governors and mayors say they support the president's priority in human infrastructure.
And I think all of us have been attempting to make those investments as we've been able to. In the state of Illinois, we passed a major infrastructure bill that helps us get there, but the federal bill allows us to do so much more to make it easier on working families across our states.
The invited group also said they hoped an infrastructure plan is passed soon. Illinois high school students won't need to submit ACT or SAT scores when applying to in-state schools anymore. A new Illinois law is making them optional. WCIA3's Cole Hankey has the story.
High school students all over Illinois were not required to take the ACT and SAT during the pandemic. Alex Sweetland was one of those students, and he says it made a big difference.
Some of my friends still took it, and seeing them stress about it, I was like, I'm glad I don't have that, because it's a lot of work, really. The time and effort you have to put in to get the score you want, it does take a lot of work.
A new law in Illinois makes it optional for high school students in Illinois to submit ACT and SAT scores on college applications. The University of Illinois system made test score submissions optional last year because of the pandemic.
We and the system are aligned with this idea that students are more than a number, especially one number on one day.
The bill sponsor, Representative Latoya Greenwood, believes the change will make the college admissions process more equitable for students from lower income communities. Those students may not have the same access to prep courses or training ahead of those tests.
All of these things are variables. And because they are, because we can't control them for every child, the impact that taking the test has and the test score that every child gets is therefore not the same and variable.
Sweetland agrees that it's a good plan. The idea of relying on those test scores was nerve-wracking. He thinks giving students the option to tout it is the way to go.
There's people who are just bad test takers. They'll do fine in school without tests, but then come test day, they just forget everything and kind of just bomb the test.
That was Cole Hankey reporting. That law also makes it illegal for admissions offices to discriminate if a student submits their scores or not, but universities can still ask for test scores for some of their more competitive programs. We're hearing from more schools about COVID mitigation plans for the new year. Danville sent its plan to parents today. Superintendent Alicia Geddes says they're trying to make the best decisions for their district while also keeping with state guidance. So here's what they're going with. Students will go to school 5 days a week. They will have a minimum of 3 feet of social distancing. Masks will be required inside for anyone not vaccinated. And on places like the bus, masks must be worn by everyone, vaccinated or not. Online learning will be available for students who are not eligible for the vaccine or for anyone who has to be quarantined.
We want all of our students back under normal and regular conditions. It's what we want. It's what is best for students. Understand that as school districts, we are caught trying to do what's right and keep everyone safe and make everyone happy. Unfortunately, the guidance is clear as mud.
They also touched on extracurriculars like sports. The guidance says those extracurriculars will take place outside when at all possible, and it says more guidance will be provided before the start of each season. Another business is moving to one downtown. What handmade items you'll be able to pick up or create on your own. Plus, one athlete will be staying local after committing to the Illini today, why he decided to play for the orange and blue. All right, Kevin, we're halfway through the week. We needed this nice weather today, I think.
Yeah,
get us through.
Yeah, today was good. It was the halfway point, and now we look ahead to the weekend. But before we get there, we've got some storms we're going to be dealing with, and that is going to hit us tomorrow and kind of be a little bit of an issue for some with maybe some severe weather. Quick recap up today. We were actually very normal, 85-63, the numbers there going in the books. Hey, it could be a lot worse. Look at the record of 98. Nowhere near that. When we come back, more about the storms in the forecast.